Welcome back everyone, it's Alex and Gio from Ragtime.
Yo, yo, yo!
So today we are looking at the Legend piece, and this is the Lord of Darkness from Pop Culture Shock. This is 1/3 scale and it's an absolute beast. We're going to do the usual, we're going to look at the boxes, we're going to weigh him, we're going to measure him, we're going to tell you what we think. This is actually, I think, going to be the first review to go up. So,
Hey!
Yeah. So yeah, we'll let you know what we think and we'll get that out as soon as we can. Take care.
Peace! Yo, yo, so welcome back. Like Alex was saying, today we're going to be going through the Lord of Darkness piece. This is a monster 1/3. We're going to get straight onto the box because they're huge. So you get two boxes, number uno.
Huge box. In all honesty though, it's not massive.
Compared to the piece
Compared
itself.
to,
Yeah, because the piece is bigger than this box.
I think Pop Culture Shock are actually really good at giving you the kind of smaller boxes. Do you remember when you got your
Well, yeah, they're very good at making the most out of the space. They don't give, you know what I mean? I mean, Bane, the box for Bane's bigger than this. That's a fact. It's bigger than it. It's a bigger box.
But there are two boxes for this one.
Yes.
But, this is pretty much exactly the same size as the 1/3 Ninjas, this box. So we'll just go through it quickly. So on the front, you have a close-up of his face. On the side, you've got a little bit of him talking there. So it says, I'm the Lord of Darkness. I require the solace of the shadows and the dark of the night. Sunshine is my destroyer. All that shall
Destroyer! That's what it
also changes tonight. The sun sets forever. There shall never be another dawn.
Do you know what they should say though? Do you know what it should sound in the box? It should be like, how do you like my...
Okay, I don't know who that is.
No, he does say that, and he should...
I know, but I don't know.
And also the, we're all animals, my lady. I fucking love I really loved it. I only like the move for this particular character. The rest of it sort of sucks, although the Swamp Woman... Merkel. That's not Merkel. It's not the one that's married Prince William, Prince Harry. Is it?
Something Meg, isn't it?
Yeah.
Meg
Muckleberg. Some shit. Yeah. She's cool.
So and then you got the piece on the back.
I can't see that one. Is it his face again? Oh, it's the whole thing.
Body.
Yeah.
Underneath, you got the edition size. This is one of 150.
Yeah, very low run, and we have.
Yeah, there's a piece on the top there. There we go.
Sweet. Let's have a box then, man.
The other box, which is
much more reasonable.
The other box is much more reasonable. We can actually move in a bit and get a bit closer. So this one is for the base and the horns,
which are massive.
When I actually got the box delivered, I actually got quite excited because I was like, I knew what that was, and I didn't know what this was. And I'm like, what is it? What is it? Yeah.
What's in the box?
And I'm like, oh, it's the base and the horns. Damn it. So yeah, same sort of business really. Face, cover profile of the face.
Nice.
And yeah.
All right, and we get usual business with PCS. So with Pop Culture Shock, you get these lovely gloves, which they fit me, so I'm going to wear them. And then you get the COA, which I really love still. I think this is fantastic.
I think again,
still signed Jerry Macaluso, President PCS.
Well,
really nice.
I actually do like the certificates. I do think they're a really nice touch.
Great touch.
I think they are. It's one of those things where it's such a small thing, but I think it's really it adds a lot to it.
Yeah, I totally agree.
When you see the,
it just shows the proof. You don't need to spend loads of money
to
make it original and to make it, you know, a bit classy. Because I think these are great next to the piece. They really are.
When you see the Street Fighter collections. And you see all the pieces and they've got all the cards next to them. I think they look great.
I think they do. And they also, the one thing about most pieces is that the information's on the base, underneath the base, which we don't see. Yeah. As soon as it's set up, you don't go and lift it and go, look, there's only 150 in the world. So, I mean, having this next to it, it sort of gives an idea. You look around a collection, you're like, Christ, there's only 80 of them and 150 of them, which is a nice touch.
As a collector actually started to make the plastic engraved labels, which are really nice, and actually you told him your edition size and you put it on there.
Yeah, nice.
That was a nice touch.
Yeah, very nice. And you get a nice little bit of instructions of how to fit the cape and such.
No, it's the cape. It's the staff.
No, it's the cape. It's the magnets to the cape. You didn't read your instructions clearly. It's about the cape where the magnets are located.
Oh, I haven't even done
It's
that.
why, I don't know why I have you around, honest to God.
Okay, that makes sense.
Oh,
okay, well, we'll look into that in a minute then, and yeah, we'll make sure that the cape is in the right position. But
probably not now. No, it's probably not, since that's what it's for.
Right.
But we'll get on to it. Let's get the piece.
Oh, that's interesting.
As you can see, we got the beast out, and it's massive, dude. It is like really, really impressive. Like just the sheer size of it is unbelievable. Carrying it took the two of us to literally to get all the parts in. The way it actually comes is you have the base, you have the figure itself, you have both horns come out, and then the staff comes in two pieces, and it's keyed, so it only goes in one way, thankfully.
You can rotate it if you want to.
Oh no, you can rotate the actual thing, but it only goes into the stick one way, the top of it. So,
but it's like a groove in the base where it sits.
Yeah.
You feed it through hand.
Yeah, nice and simple. Ish for us.
Yeah.
And this is how it should look with the magnets. There are basically magnets in the wrists, and the cape sits on so.
Which I didn't know that, and
He's had it hanging down.
I've had it on display.
A really bad
and,
Superman.
Literally had it kind of like this. But like literally, I mean, you can pose. I mean, this cape is massive. I had it like this, and I didn't realise there was actually magnets in there.
Yeah, so you can get it out, and then you can wrap it around the cape if you around the staff if you wish and such.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great. It's nice material as well, and the magnets are the little metal things that are in them are quite well hidden when it's attached, which is nice.
I think it's actually I think the magnet is in the wrist.
Yeah,
because
and the metal is in the.
I did actually find one of those little circles in the cape before.
Yeah.
I did find them.
Right.
But then I actually took something metal. I thought, is that a magnet? I tried to stick it on there, it wouldn't work, so I kind of forgot about it. So yeah.
Right, start low.
Right, start with the base.
Yeah, start with the base. Now, I've been actually, the funny thing was, I've been reading online about, Alex did a couple of free bad pictures of this, but he put them up, and there was a lot of critiques, and I have to say they are very unfounded, because I watched a lot of the Darkness clips, particularly, and the way that they've captured this, I mean, even like we're saying, because we're on the base at the moment, this is like his, I don't even know if you would call it his throne room, or his, where she's asleep, and he's like put this, mate, she's dancing with that dress. Do you know what I'm talking about? Don't touch it. But the way that they've done the base is very much like that. It's really heavy as well. Is that the decor around the bottom of the base, this sort of like marbled effect on the floor, like a granite marbled effect, is really, really nice. It's gold and brown and bronzed, and they've got these like leaves around the outside, and this concoction of like bodies and snakes all wrapped together is very much the decor of his throne room itself, which has been done really, really well. I mean, this piece apparently took like 3 years to come out.
Well,
I know that they had a lot of issues with the factories, and they had to kick their ass to get this to this standard, but I think it was really worth it. I think the quality, I mean the base as well, just on that bottom part that we're on, is really, really well done.
Well, the base,
really nice.
when I unboxed this, unfortunately I didn't wait for George because I'm quite impatient.
Yeah.
So I unboxed this, I set it up, I took out the base, and one of the things I was always very worried about, I have the 1/3 Ninjas, I had them both. I still have the Scorpion, and the bases on those are probably the most disappointing part of them. They are literally like bongo drums. They are hollow, they're light. There are a lot of complaints about them sinking and whatever else. But with this piece, you take the base out, and straight away you're like, that's how the base should be.
You could club a small cow to death with this base.
It is absolutely solid. I mean, when we weigh this, we will weigh the base, and I'm sure it's going to be, I'd say it's going to be like 2.5 kilos, maybe more.
Maybe, yeah.
Probably more actually. It is a solid base.
It just feels really premium, and I love the paint effect on the top. Like I say, I've been watching all the clips, and it's very much in keeping with the decor that he has in his sort of room where she's asleep. You know what I mean? And I think that's really, I mean, that sort of almost perverse thing that's going on at the front with it's like there's like bodies of men and women all wrapped in snakes. It's all very, very fitting to the piece. Really, really well done there. Really nice.
So yeah, just so that we can then get balanced around here. So work your way up. You've got his hoof legs,
Hoofs.
his hoofs, and he's got
The huff.
he's got like the devil has like goat legs, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So you have that the fur.
It's actually proper fur.
It's proper fur. So start with the hooves. The hooves are really nice. You know, you've got the hooves.
Yeah, they're hooves. They're right.
And you work up to some sculpted fur. Then you work up, and underneath here you actually have fur there, which is done really well. It's
fucking
really
amazing.
cool, good quality.
Really, really nice.
And then you have all this kind of leather, which is kind of got like hoops and bits of string around,
like twine
kind
in
of
it, all wrapped together, like it was in bits, and it's been sewn together.
Well, it's done really, really well. The fur.
The one thing that really the sideshow piece, that the fur on it was on the bottom. I mean, it is like a big difference. I mean, having real fur it really does stand out quite a lot. It jumps up.
It could have probably been quite hit or miss though. I mean, that could have been like a moment where we'll just do that for a second. So the fur there could have been a moment where people would have been, what the fuck? And it could have looked wrong, but I think it's done really, really well. It's executed very well.
Got this through the leather parts here, the media. It's got actually like brass gold rings. They're like holding each patch together with, and then there's twine running up the back with the knots, like Alex was saying. I think it's absolutely class. Really, I mean, the difference just in this part between the ninjas and this is like night and day. It's like a different level of quality. You wouldn't believe it was the same company that produced this shit. You wouldn't believe it. You'd be like, no one that makes this could have made those crap ninjas.
If you had them together, it would be exactly that. You would look at them together, and the average person would look at them together and just assume two totally different companies have been involved in there.
100%. Yeah.
Again, I mean,
this is lovely as well. You get onto, you've got these like gold parts that are like hanging down.
So it's almost like such a shame that this is hidden by the cape.
Oh yeah,
all of this is hidden.
Totally, yeah. I mean, you when you get into it, I mean, obviously we've degraded him as usual, which is typical Alex's bedroom antics. He's covered his face. Don't look at his face. But I mean, the twines and things that these have got like metal chains hanging down and you know, like almost like rope, golden rope. And then he's got the unicorn's horn stuck in between his belt, which is casted. It's all sort of sculpted, which is absolutely class. The whole bottom end and base is absolutely
I think that's one of the things as well. I mean, with Sideshow, Sideshow are normally the kind of market leaders with media. And I think the thing with Sideshow was the original Darkness. I did love that piece. My one had a bit of damage on there, so it bothered the hell out of me. So I had to get rid of it. But I loved the piece, and someone sent me the pictures of my piece when I sent them to him when I sold it, and I do actually miss it a little bit. But
this is better.
When you compare the two,
this is better. I love that Darkness piece.
The original Sideshow one, all these kind of strands, they had like a sequence, and they would always fall off and things. The actual beads as well. Sorry, we've been moving around a bit, but these beads got these red beads.
Yeah,
these are done really well. Well, all over
and on the shoulders and on the belt.
These are done really well. On the Sideshow one, they're painted on as they are on his wrist.
The thing is, I mean, I had a look because most of the critiques actually were on the torso, and people were saying that he looks almost too thin. I really do believe that most of the time that is a picture thing, it's an angle thing, because I watched the program and he's very. The build of Darkness is very, very strange, because what he is he has quite lean through the midsection around the waist and the hips and things, but very big across his traps and back. And because I think it's like a prosthetic suit that he's wearing.
It is
in the movie, and the way that it's done is he looks, you know, and it's done exactly like this. It's exactly how he looks. If you look at the top of his back here, up at the top of the traps, they're obscene the way they stick out. It's almost like he's a bull. It's like an animal thing.
Well, the original, the artist who did all this has actually done 3 of my favourite 80s prosthetic makeups and things. I mean, in the 80s he did The Thing, which was I think 81 or so.
Kurt Russell film.
Yeah. Which he's done.
I haven't seen it though.
Yeah, it's a really good film. But the guy was called Rob Bottin, and he did The Thing on his own. He then went on, I think, to do this, and then he went on to do the RoboCop suit. So 3 of my sort of favourite sort of makeups from the 80s.
I mean, this thing that's running down the back, this is actually casted, this is sculpted like the shoulders. And what you have in there is you have this goldy sort of black, brassy look, and then inside you've got these clear resin balls, like they're like jewels on his shoulders, and then they're mixed in with a couple of painted spots. They're just really, really well done. And I think the body, the colour on it is perfect. It's really, really nice. You know, great deal of shading, and I think they've done the body spot on. I think it's absolutely perfect. When I saw the pictures, I thought the same. I thought he looked a little bit skinny, but then, you know, from photographs. But then I looked at the video and I thought, yeah, he looks a bit skinny. And then when I've come in and I've looked at it in hand, no, it's not. It's exactly right. The bumps on his head and on his traps, he's got these weird muscles where, you know, his traps come down one side, and he's got like another set of traps that sit at the top of his back that protrude outwards, and that's done really, really well.
Well, as you say, that's if a ball was kind of like...
Yeah, it's just like these funny muscles. These not human muscles. It's the same with his abdomen, really. You can see he's sort of got like almost 8-pack going on there, but he's around his, what would you call it? Almost reinforced armour that sits just underneath his chest. And there's a great deal of shading in the muscles there, so the muscles all look fantastic, especially in the arms as well. You can see the triceps and biceps. It's a well muscled piece. It's definitely not too lean. And then you get onto the head.
I mean, sorry, just going back down. Sorry,
I know you do that. Yeah.
I know, because you did mention the unicorn horn there.
Yeah.
I'd actually think the one piece I don't like is I don't like that unicorn horn for some reason.
Why?
Something about it I just don't like. I don't like the way it's sculpted all on there together with this. Something about it just, I don't know. There's something about it I don't like.
I think it's done well.
I would have liked
maybe you can see that it's different textures there. You can see that it's slid underneath there. Really, it's nice. The only thing I would suggest is he doesn't bend down to check his shoelaces, because he's going to stab himself underneath the ribs, which ain't ideal. I like it.
Something about it I don't know. I can't explain that. But other than that, I mean, I love as George was saying, I love the bronzy antique look of his trim. You know,
and his like hands and his nails. Alex will tell you. They draw blood, man. This thing's taken blood out of Alex already. It's only been here 5 minutes and it's already taken a chunk out of him. It's proper heavy, isn't it, that staff that he's got?
Staff, I mean, you could...
it's weighty, that.
You could use it to whip someone around the back of the head with it.
No doubt. What do you think about the head? Because the head is where a lot of some of the critiques are. And it's funny because the head on the side, the head and mouth in particular on the sideshow piece was his biggest flaw. I think they really jacked up the fucking teeth. And watching the film, he always has... You know, he smiles and he laughs, and they're perfect. They're not all jacked up. They're straight teeth, and they're actually pretty white. They're not yellow and discoloured like they are in the statue, which I think they've got that right.
I think they've done really, really well with
it.
I think what people complained about is one of the problems in this community is if you offer something to someone and then you don't deliver it, then people are going to hound you and basically have a witch hunt about it. What originally was going to happen was there were going to be acrylic eyes. There were rumours of it on the forums.
Yeah.
They didn't do that. So everyone then attacks it and says they should have done the acrylic eyes. It would look better. Probably would have, but to be honest with you, there's nothing wrong with the eyes.
The eyes are like a piercing yellow, and he's sort of looking sort of there.
Yeah.
A bit here.
And the teeth again are very...
Teeth and the lips are spotless.
One of the other things, people are saying that the heads don't match. They're saying that the head's a different sculpt. They're saying the head may be shrunk and whatever else. I think it's an angle thing.
That's rubbish.
The pictures that I took, that people were comparing with the original from Comic-Con and whatever else, one was taken up here, one was taken down here, and then people are going, oh my god, look at these two, they look totally different, which is the case. If you look at him from certain angles, he looks like he's got a massive chin. And he actually, do you know who he reminds me of? When I look at him from certain angles, you see the big chin. He looks like the guy from Nightbreed.
I haven't seen it, man. I haven't seen it.
Man, I haven't seen anything.
The thing is that I watched this the other day, and that's how big his chin is. He's got a fucking ridiculous chin.
But it's an angle thing. In the angles where the people have taken it from Comic-Con, he must have been really high up, and they've taken it from like...
I'm telling you now, this piece is fucking class. It is definitely the best darkness piece I've seen, and I love the sideshow one. It wasn't without its flaws, but no piece is without its flaws. This is better. 100%, without any doubt, without any shadow. Better base, better mixed media, better hair. it's even got a better sculpt on the body. I'm
I
sorry.
was going to say hair. What are you talking about? But then,
Yeah, on him. It is an absolute. I mean, I can't believe the difference between this and them. So I can't believe it. When I walked in and I see it, I was just like, this is fucking crazy. And the head is the lips and the teeth are absolutely magnificent. Almost the ears are almost translucent. You can almost see through them in certain angles with these lights. His horns are huge as well. You take one of these horns out. I mean, look at that.
I don't think the shading would pick up
like a
very well.
pipe. Yeah. Nelly D.E.R. bitch, I got my own pipe.
It does actually look like a pipe. But I don't think the shading comes out very well. That was another thing.
It is quite well shaded.
In my pictures, you cannot see any of the shading, and it looks more like a bright red. There is shading there. There's shading is all because you've got like he's always got
lines all over him.
Like a forehead, like how a forehead would frown. He's got on the back of his head.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And you can see the shading between the creases there. You can see it on his face. But I don't think it picks up very well. Hoping it'll pick up on the camera.
Yeah, it's loads of shading all over the body, man. I mean, it's not overshaded.
No.
It's definitely not like like certain pieces where it's not really overdone. Yeah, I mean it's not really overdone, but there's loads of blacks breaking up the muscles and stuff. But what you've got to remember as well, if you watch the film, is he in the movie he's quite shiny. Yeah. He's a little bit shiny in certain pictures, like a little bit too much, and I'm glad that they've toned that shit down.
Sometimes he does look a bit plasticky in the movie.
Yeah, it's a bit shiny, and they've done that well here. I think
there are times where
it's quite overdone.
Foam latex horns do kind of fail a little bit sometimes.
So come on, tell me, what do you not like about it?
No.
This is your piece. What do you tell me?
There is something about the unicorn horn where it's positioned I don't like. I just don't. Again, as you say, if he bends over, he's going to stab himself. It's not where you would put it if you had a unicorn horn.
Doesn't he not have it there in the film?
I don't know. Maybe he does.
I think he has it there in the film. I'm sure that's where he sticks it and he pulls it out. Yeah. I think that's where it is. I don't think they just pulled it out of their asses and goes. They just stick it on his fucking between his horns.
I think Jerry's made Darkness pieces before. Yeah. Legend pieces. He did one on the throne for certain toys. Yeah. And he knows. He's done his research. Obviously, so maybe it does happen in the film, but as a kind of a practical solution, I don't think anyone would even do that. Yeah. Especially not that way around. They do it the other way.
Yeah, take the point out the other end. I mean,
then you're going to do your artery in the leg, the femoral artery. But I mean,
what do I not like?
I do think that the base is done really, really well. I do really like the cape. I really like the shreds on the bottom of the cape. Maybe like a little bit of sort of grime on the cape.
I know what I don't like about it. I've got it. I know exactly what I don't like. I don't like the fact that it's 1/3 scale. If it was 1/4 scale, I would go after this. I'd probably go after it myself because I think it's massive, almost 40 inches tall.
37, 6?
Yeah, 38 I think. But it's a monster. And I think, to be honest with you as well, is if they made the base just a little bit smaller, just around here, I think you'd probably get it into a DTOF,
But that's the funny thing we always get onto is the fact that, this is $1,000 statue. Yeah. And we're talking about putting it into a $50 fucking display.
Yeah, it's true. Damn it, sort yourselves out. Think about these things.
Yes, you need to make it fit in a cheap display so everyone can display it in.
No, but you know what I'm saying. It's just a little wide. It's just a little wide. So maybe cutting that down. Other than that, man,
it's as wide as you think.
Really, it's got to be 15 inches across. Probably, 16 inches across.
Well, we get the.
I've got to say, we see a lot of PCS stuff, and some pieces like the Zangief and some other bits, they get rave reviews, and the Scorpion's got fucking tramped on. Them videos probably ain't up because of how bad the review is. Yeah. But if this is even a statement of how good things could be, PCS are on the up because this is real quality. This is serious quality.
You have to remember as well that this is from one of the last pieces from their old factory. So the newer pieces, I think Conan will be the next one, Battle Cat, they are from the new factory, which is the XM factory. So Conan and Battle Cat should be, especially looking like this, that they should be.
Well, they had to kick their asses
together.
What's wrong with Zangief? Nothing. I said it was a good review.
Oh, okay.
There were good ones, but then there's like the Zangief and then there's Liu Kang in it. But with pop, I mean, it's a prime example of why these new factories are needed.
Just can't do it, can we? Can't just like talk about pop culture shock without bringing up Liu Kang.
But listen, this is what I'm saying. This is why they've moved to the new factories and trying to sort things out, because there's a big discrepancy in quality. This is masterpiece. It's a beautiful piece. And then you have the ninjas that are a fucking pile of shit. And then you've got the Liu Kang that's terrible, and then you've got Zangief that's not.
Well, Zangief was like the second piece.
Yeah, the Zangief's really nice.
Zangief, it was like Akuma, and then Zangief, I think.
I really like Zangief a lot.
But also, I mean, the reason this did take 3 years to come out.
Yeah, they had a lot.
And that is the reason why there were a lot of people complaining. There were issues with they had an issue with a factory where they had a middleman who was dealing with them. He kind of told Pop Culture Shock that everything was okay, and then they found out the factory went out of business 6 months before.
Wow.
So they had to go somewhere else, and then they had to work things out. There have been a lot of work, a lot of issues with you're getting the materials right for this. I think that if you've got this on order, there are a few guys that keep asking me for this review who have it on order, and they say based on our review they are going to either cancel it or
Don't
continue.
cancel this.
If you are a fan of this piece, this movie, definitely this is the piece to have. If you've got the space to put this, you'd be stupid to cancel. In the future, there are only 150 of these. There's no exclusive,
ridiculous.
and I think in future the fans of this are going to keep hold of them. So this is probably going to be really hard to get hold of.
Yeah, I think you're right. I agree with you, because it's cult, innit?
Yeah.
This is a cult classic piece. Definitely don't cancel it, whatever you do, for Christ's sake.
Let me grab the tape measure, and
Yeah.
we'll see what he's saying. All right, so we're back. We're going to get the tape measure. We're going to measure.
Stand to do this. I had to move the table and all this jazz.
It's too big.
Can I turn this now? Yeah.
Well, it's still on Susan. She's struggling, but she's still there. Careful. Fucking Jesus Christ.
Right, there you go. That was close. He lost an eye. Alright, so that's about the top in it there. Yeah, so it's around 37 inches, so 94 centimetres exactly.
Well, what we do is, so 94 is there.
Yeah.
What about the top of the horn? Actually, top of the horn is the peak anyway, dude.
31.2, so 80 centimetres. Widest point is the
Well,
base. That is around about
So it's here to here.
17 inches.
Yep, so that's about
43 and a half, 44.
And then
Lift
what's
the
the
cake, go
depth?
through his legs.
Yeah. Careful of the horn.
He's about 13 and a half inches. So again, around 35, I would say.
Again, I mean, you can get this in a Besta if you obviously mess around the shelves.
How much do you think it weighs?
Yeah, it's quite heavy. But I'm just trying to work out the best way to lift it.
Just from the side and put it straight down. So that's it. From there. It's got to be fucking 16 kilos, 17. It's got to be 16 kilos as a guess. Oh, you son of a bitch. It's exactly 15 kilos.
15 dead.
15 dead. So that's 33 pounds exactly.
What we'll do then is quickly just weigh to the base.
So base wise, it's 14 pounds. So that means
6 kilos.
So that means it's 6.3 kilos.
Wow. Right, so guys, do the usual: like, comment, subscribe, share. Let us know what you think of the piece. Let us know if you like it. Let us know if you don't like it. I know there are a lot of, as I say, a lot of comparison shots going around, but a lot of them were different angles. So yeah. Unless you see it in person.
Don't put too much stock. 10%, if you're lucky, a picture will tell you of a statue. You know,
We've had to eat humble pie so many times.
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ, man! I fucking live off humble pie. I'm fucking eating humble pie all the time, because I look at a lot of pictures and I comment on a lot of pictures. But I know that it's 10% your best bet, and then a review you'll get around maybe 25-30%. So that's only it's still only half the story. Huh?
15 of those.
Yeah, probably about that. Yeah. So. You know, really, he only tells half the story, reviews and pictures. You see it in person. I've seen pictures. I thought it looked okay, but being here in person, I'm floored by it. It took a long time, so I hope that the people that have been waiting and patient are very happy with it, and I'm sure they will be. Thanks for all your support, and mad love, yeah. Peace.
Peace.
It's well heavy, that is. It feels well premium, that thing.
kill some of that. Big long.
That wire's bothering me, man. Sort that shit out. Most, there you go. That's it. That's it. As long as it's not touched, that's it. It's good. It's just touching the silver things really bothering me a little bit. You know, ooh.
What are you gonna do that way? We're still recording. Look at that. What about that way? Is that probably more?
Yeah, that really is bothering me actually with the wire wrapped around it a little bit. Just, there you are. Perfect. That's it.
Hey, Rod, you and Alex from Rad Time.
Yo yo.
Yo.
Spin that bitch. Swore with him in the first 10 seconds. I need to try to better.
Just try not to.
I really have to try with it.
If I lift him up.
Yeah, lift them up.
Ooh. Lift him up. Need some manscaping happening here.